is the right to tell what they do not want to hear. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. Tired of the same repetitive government narratives? Then wave goodbye to the distractions and rhetoric of corporate media. For this is Anti-Media Radio.
But I want to get the language right. The big government is in trouble.
You're all a bunch of slaves! Bunch of slaves!
What we need in the United States is not violence and lawlessness, but is love and wisdom and compassion toward one another.
What's your definition of media?
And now, here's your host, S.M. Gibson.
Welcome to another episode of Anti-Media Radio. My name is S.M. Gibson. It is August the 23rd, 2016. We have a lot to talk about tonight. Before we get into the show, I want to remind everybody to be thinking about and in any way, shape, or form that can help right now the people of Louisiana that are still going through a terrible, horrendous time. We have information up at the antimedia.org of all the different organizations you can reach out at. We'll put that in the comments for the show tonight so people can figure out and find out how to reach out. Just want to let the people of Baton Rouge know that we're still thinking about them. Want to bring in our co-host, sound director, Mr. Shannon Madden. Shannon, what is up?
Good evening, Mr. Gibson. How are you?
Can't complain. Many people have it much worse, so
yes,
no point in
count
complaining.
Your blessings.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, there's a lot in the news right now. I'm going to go ahead and, I guess, should I just run? I'm going to run down the headlines real quick. And you jump in where you want, Shannon.
Do it.
Right now, the story's at the antimedia.org. Judge gives 18-year-old probation.
Next.
For 2 rape charges so he can go to college.
Next.
Yep, that's pretty, that happened.
Yeah, that's gross.
It's angering.
Entitlement.
Yeah,
Gotta love it. I want to get me some of that entitlement, Daddy.
No kidding. Total societal collapse. What the media isn't telling you about Venezuela. So you're not aware, Venezuela right now is 35 hours a month they're spending in line just to get basic stuff. Food.
Wow.
Toiletries. I mean, we really do. You talk about being blessed. We really are lucky.
That's a full-time job, standing in line.
35.
That is
35 hours a month. It's
okay. That's part-time job.
Part-time job.
I thought you said week. I'm sorry.
But
coffee hadn't quite kicked in yet.
Yeah, there are some people right now in this world that are just completely suffering. Government pulls water supply of Dakota protesters despite sweltering heat. So I don't know if you're keeping up with the situation in North Dakota right now. Ton of protesters up there. We have quite a few stories up on the antimedia.org about the situation. One of our good friends, Derek Bros, and sometimes contributor here at the site, he's up there right now and covering it as well. But they pulled the water from the protesters. Like, how messed up is that?
That sounds about right. Considering how well Waco went, I guess.
Well, you've got a point.
No waters, you got to count your blessings wherever you can, I guess. That's pretty much the way our government does business now. I mean, we're not just a warmongering hate machine for the rest of the world. We do it to our own here at home. That's highly, highly unfortunate. So, I mean, yeah, that really sucks. And again, it's another prime example of, number one, the fact that we live in a police state, and that police state exists because it's going to continue to be business as usual for corporate America, for the politicians that they bought off, and the ones that we vote into office.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's cute. Well, yeah, speaking of the election. Okay, so I don't know if I've told you my crazy theory, Shannon, but
oh man, here it goes.
Here's my crazy theory. I want to stress possibility. Not likely.
Possibility.
Possibility. Right. I think there is a possibility Gary Johnson could be president. And I'm not saying that as somebody that's like, ooh, I support Gary Johnson. That's going to happen. No. Not at all. I think it would resemble more of a Bush presidency, especially foreign policy-wise, than libertarian. I don't think it'll resemble anything libertarian.
I like my
except for
better.
Probably weed. He'd probably be Gary on that.
Mitt Romney with pot.
Yeah,
that's what he is. Mitt Romney with pot. Enjoy that.
And he's already said that Romney would have a place in his cabinet. So we're talking a libertarian here, and have Mitt Romney in his cabinet.
Well, it's a lot better than Chris Christie's.
Is it? Is it, though?
I don't know. I mean, Mormons are trustworthy folk.
Mitt Romney's not.
Well, okay. I mean, every apple cart's got a bad apple somewhere.
Think about just Romney care, and he would be in a libertarian cabinet.
Yeah. But pot, though.
Remember, Romney was talking about Russia back in 2012. They were ready to jump on that train then.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is escalating right now, still, as we speak.
Wow.
The tensions are rising.
Tensions.
That's right, to me, is a scary situation going.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it really holds no bearing on us. It's just going to be more war.
Yeah.
More terror, more, we're going to help make you secure. Have drones flying over to your house 24/7. Don't you worry about a thing. Uncle Sam's got your ass. And he's got your ass. Got mine, too.
Well, that is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
If people haven't figured that out yet. That's one good thing.
There's a lot of people that have
for both of them.
If you get on social media, you'll find that there are a lot of people that are just still completely oblivious to how this whole thing works.
Well, you can applaud, really, when you think about it, both Hillary and Trump. Hillary for being so crooked, such a criminal, so blatant in people's faces with both middle fingers up.
It's
doing the DX in the middle of the ring.
It's not just Hillary Clinton, though.
But listen, no. She's so blatant and running for president, like with the investigations and stuff. Mm-hmm. I think she's woken a lot of people up to how messed up this is. Think about all the Bernie supporters that went into that election that were like, I like Bernie. But, if this don't work out, I'll vote for Hillary. And they ran against her. And they saw how evil she was. And they're like, she's the worst person ever. And I'm pretty sure our candidate actually won that thing. Nobody's talking about it. She just took it from him.
He's not even talking about it. I think he had to sign a waiver so he doesn't talk about it ever again.
And then when they got caught doing that with the DNC, the lady that headed the whole thing up resigned in shame, and within the hour...
And shame my ass.
Was heading up...
She was on her cell phone within minutes. Hill, you ready, baby?
Heading up the honorary chair of Hillary Clinton's campaign.
Honorary.
So
not what you know, it's who you know.
So I think that has helped wake people up to like, wow, this is really screwed.
But this is the point that I was trying
Trump
to make.
too, because he's a lunatic.
This is the point I was trying to make. It's the fact that Hillary has done this out in the open. Cameras rolling. Both middle fingers up. Machine guns blazing in the air. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
All right? We see this with cops, with body cameras, with cameras pointed at them, getting more bold and more brazen. We see local politicians now starting to get in on the act. I mean, caught red-handed with their hands in a cookie jar and have a way to carefully explain all of it.
I'll say this because I believe politicians are criminals mostly everywhere.
Politicians.
Here in this state, they get arrested all the time.
State politicians. Yeah, what's our running record right now for
Bob
governor?
Riley didn't go to jail.
Not yet.
Keep getting investigated.
There was some sort of grand jury, something or another. Now that this whole Bentley thing has come to play.
Really?
Yeah. Don't know how far they're going to look into it, but there's already been implications.
Guy Hunt technically didn't go to jail.
Yeah, but technically he did. Yeah,
he had to leave.
If he tries to go get a job at Walmart, trust me, they're going to ask him about it. So
Siegelman's still in jail. Siegelman went back to jail. I think.
Siegelman. He's under the same bus.
And our last mayor Birmingham's in jail.
So, anyways, the point I was trying to make is that it's done out in the open, bold and brazen. People aren't even trying to hide it anymore. The establishment is not trying to hide it anymore.
No.
So much so that they put their own representation, this clownish, cartoonish thing called Donald Trump, up in their place to look after their interest. But they've also hedged their bets with who I think is going to be the real winner, because the election's a farce anyways, and that's Miss Hillary, first woman President Clinton.
If this really is like a big scam to get her in
badge,
office,
you got badge.
like that's just like that's next level. That's next level.
Yeah, out in the open, both middle fingers up. I'm telling you, man, it is. And I hope that people are finally awake. I hope this is the one thing that finally does it. When she finally puts her hand on that Bible and it starts flaming with her other hand up in the air, that people are like, oh, man, we really, they were right about this. Let me get one of them tinfoil hats. Maybe I'll pick up some of those cool radio waves, too. And it really is happening, man. Live and in living color. Right in front of your eyes.
Yeah, but think about her health, though. Like that, let's not kid ourselves. She's not in good health. That's not going to play well. And we're not talking about an election. We're talking about running stuff, like actually doing anything.
There are those folks out there that suggest that Hillary may not be of this world.
Oh, whatever.
I mean, maybe she's fixing to take her next form, or maybe her ultimate form.
Like Dragon Ball Z or something.
Oh,
like
anti-media does not condone or endorse the lizard people narrative.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is not the official
stance
stance of anti-media.
No, it is not.
We are neither pro or con lizard people. So
I'm con, but I'm pro the story because it's funny.
it is.
I'm pro story.
But then again,
con believing it.
But then again, so is Steve Martin's the jerk. So that's a great story.
Anyway. Pentagon claims Syrian exclusion zone is not a no-fly zone.
Duh.
So, hold on.
Anybody can just go fly over there, right? And it's not a thing?
So wait, here we go. What the Pentagon's saying is, all right, it's an exclusion zone. It's not a no-fly zone. We want to stress the difference.
Mm-hmm.
So can anybody fly over it? No. We'll shoot them. They can't fly over it.
Yeah.
But it's not a no-fly zone.
Yeah. So don't worry about it. Happy travels.
Well, just so you're aware, that's how they're going to end up kicking off with Russia, is through Syria. Somebody's going to hit the wrong person, and it's going to be over with.
Yeah. And, of course, the narrative's going to be spun towards the fact that the aggression was definitely felt by us, and we had to respond swiftly. And I'm sure there'll be some sort of footage that's kind of great.
They've got more troops going to Afghanistan.
Yeah, they do. Of course they do. Haven't you ever
it's
played?
A small unit,
haven't you ever played Risk?
Blah, blah. That's how they do it over and over.
Haven't you ever played Risk? You got to keep putting troops into the
unit.
territories that you're trying to occupy, the larger territory in the middle of it. Yeah, there's and again, more needless people will die, more civilians, more children.
Yeah, it's just evil. I mean, it's just pure evil. It's sad, but this is where we're at. Because, I don't believe that most of the people of the world are like this.
Now, what gives us the authority to go in and try to sort this whole thing out with them? And meanwhile, while taking advantage of whatever resources we can glean from the area. And of course it is, and let's be very clear about it, it is also to prevent any other Muslim nations from getting any more atomic weapons. That's also another key strategy that's going on over there and has been for quite some time. The crawlers on Fox News that talk about
I'm not buying all that.
The Iran nuclear program at bay. Yeah, I'm not buying that.
I'm not buying all the Iran propaganda because, look, they want to start a war right there. Everybody knows it. They've got the...
Well, they don't want another Pakistan is what it is.
Well,
they don't want somebody to just pop up and surprise. We've got one now, too.
This is about Russia. Why else are they positioning themselves the way they are? This is about Russia. That's the ultimate thing. They are antagonizing them right now to no end. And Putin's over there just saying, look, everybody's got to take a step back. Mm-hmm. This is getting serious.
Yeah.
Y'all got to calm down.
Yeah.
And we're just like, he's coming, he's coming, he's coming.
Because that's one other thing that we have to remember, that, we're also talking about countries that are armed with nuclear weapons. We don't want that. I mean, do we want that? Is that what we really want? Is that what America needs to be great for? Starting World War III, and this one's going to be the big one.
It won't be good.
Weaponry that we've never ever seen. I mean, actually really seen in action. I don't ever want to see anything like that.
No.
I certainly don't want my children or grandchildren or anything like that to that be their legacy, or that be the great divine. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Golly day. People do need to take a step back. Regardless of how you feel about Putin, one way or the other, that's some pretty good advice.
It is.
Because,
on all accounts,
China's also getting involved in this as well. And that's certainly come on, man.
And here's the thing, because at some point, Trump has acted like he'd be buddies with Putin. But I'm telling you, if he were to get in, if he was a guy, he'd flip so fast. I think he'd go against him in 2 seconds.
He'd do what he's told to do.
I think so. That's
like
what
any
I'm saying.
other
I think
person
he
that sits in that chair, Gary Johnson, Hillary Clinton, or Donald J. Trump.
Gary
Daddy.
Johnson.
What's Milo
it's
up
possible.
to?
I have no idea.
I miss that guy.
He's off
Twitter's
my radar
just not
now.
the same.
He's off my radar.
Oh, man, that's sad.
I
You
know.
just dumped him like that? Like,
it was interesting for half a second, and it got real played out. I get it.
yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I don't need to see it every day. It's kind of a rerun.
Damn. Oh,
That's
man.
right. I said it.
Wow.
He's a rerun.
Milo is a rerun. Milo, you did not hear me say that. I'm still a fan, so.
I didn't say it wasn't.
F
I
you.
didn't say it wasn't an entertaining show. I just said, you've seen it. You've seen it. It's funny.
Russ and Jimmy.
Smart guy. He's an interesting character that he's playing, which he is playing a character.
Can we talk about the 800-pound gorilla in the room?
Go.
Russell and Jimmy's. Come on, man. Don't act like all of a sudden you're going to act like no, it's not really that big of a deal. No, it's a big deal. The Cincinnati Zoo has shut it down. Twitter, Facebook, all social media, their website, everything, shut down.
Who cares?
Harambe's revenge.
Who cares?
Never forget.
I mean, I'm sure for someone that...
Can we
may have
finish
had,
the rest of this?
But I don't know how or who.
We need to finish the rest of this show and get down to the bottom of this whole Harambe business. Harambe, of course, was the silverback gorilla that was shot when there was an interaction with a child that fell into the gorilla enclosure, for the 4 or 5 people left that have not heard the story. Because it is blown up. You cannot go anywhere on Facebook and not see a Harambe meme cut on wrestling and see somebody holding up a sign, see a protest and somebody saying Bush did Harambe. Harambe was an inside job, yada, yada. Jimmy's rustled everywhere. So much so that the Cincinnati Jew got, Cincinnati
That's
Zoo.
it's another rerun for me. It's like, that's funny, I get it.
Yeah, but I mean, so much so that the whole, like, the zoo had to shut their website down. That is like the biggest, that's like the 14-year-old girl. Fine, if you don't want to talk to me anymore, then I'm just going to completely delete my Facebook account forever for like a week and a half.
Well, here's the grand mistake on behalf of the Cincinnati Zoo. If you haven't learned, if this is a lesson that corporations, politicians, people, whoever need to learn, is do not in any way, shape, or form suggest or direct towards the internet not to do something. Because as soon as you do,
Yeah.
it's going to be the biggest thing on the internet.
You can't have any feels on the internet. The internet is not for
And as
for
soon
babies.
as they said this is hurting our feelings,
No, your feelings have not been hurt yet.
not
No,
quite yet.
The internet will hurt your feelings if you have feelings.
It is just
That's why
now
it's-
beginning.
It's best in 2016 America just not to have feelings at all.
Yeah,
United States of America, no feelings.
it would be for the best.
No feelings matter. No safe spaces. None.
No.
There's nowhere to hide.
There's
Cincinnati
not.
Zoo.
Have you ever noticed the parallel? See, I noticed this living up on the West Coast for a little bit. All the safe space trigger warning people, for the most part,
Trigger feels.
it's really, really, really close to like hardcore religious, like real legalistic, judge kind of people. It's just like same side, different sides of the same coin, just real left version. But at the end of the day, they're still trying to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you can't say that. No, you can't do that. No, you can't eat that.
How dare you?
Uh-huh. It's odd, like how they parallel, and nobody even sees the irony of it. But it's, no, you can't do this. You can't do this. Don't say that. Don't say that. Take it back. It's just, oh, my feelings. Or, oh, you're going to go to hell. And that's what you get from society. Hooray. So, anyways, okay. Definitely wanted to bring this story up. The U.S. has a huge rate of whites in incarceration, but nobody's talking about it. You were going through the numbers earlier, Shannon, on this. It's not something you think about, but, in all honesty, it boils down to there's a bunch of people in prison. Skin color aside, there's a bunch of people in prison. It's the world's largest prison population. Freest country in the world, largest prison population.
Yeah,
You can get that.
absolutely. Per capita. First off, I think we need to reel this conversation back just a little bit. One bit of news that we didn't really get a chance to talk about is the fact that the United States government is pulling their contract on private prisons. First off, private prisons.
Hey, I will say this. It's better than nothing.
What's better than nothing?
Getting the 13 private prisons, the federal ones.
Oh, anytime that you get rid of a situation like that is great, but at the same time,
It didn't go away.
what we need to get rid of the prisons altogether.
Well-
There's all of these people going to jail for all of these stupid little petty things.
You still have murderers and stuff.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
I mean, you have to be realistic when you say get rid of jails altogether. Like, you still have, like, O.J. Simpson walking around.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we could do the whole Muslim justice, an eye for an eye or a head for a head.
That don't sound too pleasant.
Yeah, none of it really does. We need to figure out, first off, why all these people are winding up in prisons to begin with. Now, I will say this, though. Murder is down nationwide. We're seeing less violent crime. We're seeing a bunch of property crime, particularly burglaries, grand theft auto, things of that nature.
I think society's a lot more grown up than media would have you believe, and I think the people running society are a lot more childish than they would have you believe.
But currently we have 2.2 million Americans that are locked up and incarcerated at this moment, or at the writing of the article. That's a lot of people.
A lot. What were some of the numbers you were talking about earlier? I know you said that the percentage was something like, okay, there would still be, if it was just the a white population of prisoners in the United States, it would still be in the top 10.
Yeah.
Of most prisoners. And it's something like 70-something%.
And it's like the article that you're referencing, which is on www.theantimedia.org, basically suggests that if you take every single other person of color out of the United States prison population, and you compare the United States prison population, just the white folks only, it still is easily in the top 10 of world prison populations. I think it's like in the top 5 or something.
But the real issue is, like, it can't be stressed enough. Skin color aside, why are all these people in jail?
Yeah,
and the drug war is such a huge part of it.
A huge part of it. And the numbers for people that are incarcerated for anything to do with any kind of drugs whatsoever is staggering. And
the way it affects families here. You look at the rates of Black America, just say, take that out and look at it as an example, okay? Because statistically speaking, percentage-wise, they're getting it way worse than everybody else as far as the way the system is. They get it way worse statistically speaking. I don't think anybody with the brain would argue
Let's
that.
break it down to a simple question. When's the last time that the drug war prevented a junkie from getting his fix?
Yeah, I don't know.
Now, I can't think of any other time in history that such a thing had happened. Even when it was legal. A junkie's going to get his fix.
People don't really accept that.
And as long as there's a market for it, particularly a black market for it.
There's always going to be a market for it from here to the end of time. But if you want to help people, help people. Throwing them in prison's not helping them.
No. And you have a lot of really sick people. I mean, sick and
if
dying
the goal's
people
not to have people on drugs, just throwing a guy in jail ain't going to fix it.
Yeah.
It's going to make it worse because they're going to get more contacts. Mm-hmm. They're going to have more criminal, quote, association, which it technically is criminal association because they're all in jail. And we complain about, well, they're families. It's on families.
No, it's
well, no, wait. If you take all these men and throw them in prison, and there's kids growing up without dads, and then what happens? They act out, they do something, get caught with drug, boom, go to jail, and the cycle continues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's the way my daddy did it.
The cycle continues. And nobody seems to, that seems like such a very visible thing. And I don't know how people don't comprehend that.
Yeah.
Because I do think there is some truth to the family thing. But why is that? Why aren't the families there? Because of the drug war.
Well, and they're also, families are, even if they are there, mom and dad do stay together. Let's just go ahead and take all of that out. Mom and dad are still together. Mom and dad now have to work probably a combined, I would say easily between the two of them, anywhere from 100 to 120 hours a week to support a family of 4 these days. And we're talking about the mortgage, we're talking about the insurance, we're talking about the school, we're talking about clothes for the kids, we're talking about groceries, we're talking about the car, we're talking about upkeep on the car, we're talking about getting a dog and feeding the dog and getting cat litter for the cat and getting dance shoes for the little girl, and you know what I'm saying, and then repairs to the house and so on and so forth. The cost of living in America is staggering.
Well, you can have that whole conversation all night. Speaking of economics and inflation.
Well, but and that plays largely into it because we've also created a generation of the few that are actually lucky to have mom and dad at home. a generation of latchkey kids, or situations where you have to put them in daycare, and God knows what you get at daycare with some daycare worker that's getting $9 an hour that's pissed off and frustrated at life beating your kids. We've seen so many incidences of that.
Yeah, that's not...
Shuffle them off to public school to get indoctrinated.
That's not predominantly...
That's
painting it as all daycare workers are beating your kids.
But there's a certain socioeconomic, and see, if you're caught up in that little circle and you have to live, let's say, in a slightly sketchy neighborhood, and then you get pulled over by the police a little bit more frequently because they want to know why a person such as yourself is living in a sketchy neighborhood. Let's just say if you're a white dude living in a black neighborhood, I got my hand raised. I've lived in some of the more I guess you could say slightly rougher parts of Birmingham, where there is definitely a lot more evidence of crime and murder and things like that. And it's not, but mixed neighborhood, not just white folks, not just black folks, but mixed neighborhood, and a lot of just the socioeconomic struggle that the people in those neighborhoods are
people get loud in the South, no matter what skin color you is.
Man, you ain't never been to Gate City.
Poor people get loud.
Yeah, you ain't never been to Gate City. Gate City's something else. But the point I'm trying to make is that I don't know what point was I trying to make. I'm still trying to get that vision of Randy Orton's forehead just gassed open. God,
you're just steering off now. But you were talking about, I think there's part of culture too that celebrates behavior like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was having a conversation today, and somebody was talking about, I don't know, some rapper, I don't know what it was, but RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan was talking about some young rapper been affiliated with the Bloods. It's like, why? Like, we did that because we had to. We got away from it. Yeah. Because it was stupid, and we didn't want to die, and we got out as soon as we could. Like, why would you intentionally go do that? Mm-hmm. For street cred? Like, that's ridiculous. Yeah. Like, we wanted out. That's why we did what we did. That's why we did music.
Yeah, people in gangs get shot at regularly. I don't. That's not much fun for anybody. For nothing. I mean, really, when you look at it at the end of the day, there've been people are shooting each other for nothing, for a little bit of money.
A little bit of money, yeah.
That's going to be spent within probably a day, 2 days.
Territory a little bit, but,
Yeah. Just to keep what little bit of money they can scrape by that the drug war is going to trickle down into their block because there's so much of it. So much of it. And they're shooting each other for the crumbs, for the scraps left over.
Yeah,
really, if you get down to it.
It's true, and it's sad. Because the big money is being made elsewhere.
On the border. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All of the heroin that has flooded the United States.
Because people want to talk about Chicago. Like, think about how many, right-wing Sean Hannity people, Chicago. Look, I'll be the first person talking about Chicago. I used to bring the numbers up all the time, and to me, I see that there is a problem that we need to address here.
Huge.
I don't see it as we need to be pointing fingers at these people. I think there is a situation that we need to do something about. How can these people get some relief here?
Yeah, if you arm every single person in Chicago, watch how many incidences of gun violence will go down within the year. So it's a little different when you know that the person you're shooting at has a gun. But if you're a criminal and you know that all of the other people have been forced to not have a gun, man, it's a field day. It's like shooting fish in a barrel.
Chicago, they get the biggest money for illegal guns too, because they're pretty much all illegal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they get good. So that they're running guns up there like crazy and getting high dollar for it. So that's gonna want people to bring the guns there, and if they're running guns from wherever they're running from, you can
buy a gun legally somewhere else,
somewhere in the South or whatever they do. Yeah. Whatever they do, you going to pick Chicago or you going to pick New York? Because if I get busted, I get busted. And I get way more money in Chicago. Mm-hmm. So they're getting way more weapons up there. And there's a war in the street. All for what? For what? All these kids, we talk about, losing their dads. Think about the ones that are, dying. Forget the ones going to jail. Mm-hmm. The ones that are dying. It's so sad. And we just stand by and look at it as some political talking point, but these are people.
Mm-hmm. And, the most important thing is that all of the people we're talking about are poor.
Yes, sir.
And the amount of poor in America, just as I was pointing out earlier, as far as what it takes to actually live in modern day USA 2016, the amount of money that it takes just to keep your little corner, your little tiny little slice of heaven going. I mean, it's incredible. It is absolutely incredible. And the fact that you're already taxed the moment that you go out and make $1. Right off the bat, the employer takes the 20 or 30% off, whatever the case may be. It's gone. And then you're left to, if you're making, let's say, $10, $12 an hour, oh, man, how are you supposed to live on that? So then you have to work extra jobs, and then you have to work 50, 60 hours a week, and then suddenly your little family...
But is it the government's responsibility to pay your bills?
No, but it's definitely not the government's responsibility to steal part of my paycheck the moment I come home.
Right.
Hello?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But, who doesn't? Who doesn't really?
And 40% of that,
and
40% of the withholdings that they're taking out of that paycheck are going to corporate subsidies. Come on, man.
Oh, sure.
And we're sitting there crying about, I don't want to pay for them people on welfare. How about paying for all of those rich people? Because there's a far larger piece of your paycheck goes towards corporate subsidies than goes towards welfare.
Think about all the people in this country. Oh, government's out of control. It's too big. Ronald Reagan. And then they turn around and go, we need a bigger military immediately. It's not big enough.
Star Wars.
Make it bigger.
Missiles raining from the heavens.
We don't care how much it costs.
Lasers.
The government, and then they turn around and go, the government spending is out of control.
Yeah.
Oh, we're all
so out of control that they start losing
and
trillions
it's true,
of
the
dollars.
government spending's way out of control. Like, it's bonkers. Like, I don't know how we haven't fallen off the cliff yet.
Losing trillions of dollars and not knowing what happened to it.
Yeah. The Pentagon all the time. That's happened multiple times in the past few years.
Yeah.
Just all of a sudden.
Thank God there was no other plane wrecks that happened.
Just want to see it, man. I just want to see it. That's it. I'm not saying it didn't happen. Just saying I want to see it. Still ain't seen that plane.
You're not going to.
Look, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I wasn't there. I'm just saying I have not seen a picture.
Oh,
of
there's
the plane
nobody that was there. That place was cleared down and locked down well before that incident happened.
All I'm saying. Somebody please provide that information. I'll be good. But, yeah, unfortunately, I don't think it's coming. People just believe anything.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna do it. I'm gonna find it and play it. Adolf Hitler is alive and well in Miami, Florida. What are you gonna do about it? And that pulls us back to the election. Because, look, right in our faces, whatever they want. Whatever they want. They're dragging us into these wars in your face. People are dying.
And convincing people that it's a good idea to go kill people for no good reason at all. Just, I really just don't like the way that they do things over there. I think we need to change that up, don't you?
And this is how they've gotten away with it. Because when they were going to go to war with Syria in 2013, they promoted it. We got to do this. There's some stuff going on. We've got to go to war, guys. And everybody's like, no, we don't. Don't do that because that's stupid. And so they just said, we'll do it anyway. We just won't tell you about it. We just let it disappear for a while. And, there's some ISIS guys. We're going to take care of it. Don't worry about it. That's it. That's what you get.
Yeah.
Look, Hillary Clinton, one of her top donors is Time Warner, right? If that don't prove that the media is bought, paid for, and works directly with the politicians, I don't know what does. Because you're a fool if you think, just Hillary Clinton is in bed with the media. or just the Democrats, or just the Republicans and Fox News. They're all in it together. A great word, convoluted, is what the situation is.
Yes, it is.
And it's just a big mess of a bunch of greedy people. And we're all at the bottom getting screwed. What do you do about it? Big deal. I mean, look, I don't know what there is to do about it. Because what are you going to accomplish? Really? I don't think, people want to talk all this revolution business. I hate to break their heart, but that ain't going to happen. It's not. Even kind of close. Maybe one day. I don't know. I'm not going to say. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. But today ain't the day. So,
Gary Johnson, huh?
Yeah. It's possible.
If he legalizes marijuana, they'll probably.
I don't think it's likely.
They'll probably like name something after him, like hey man, let's go do a Johnson real quick.
Okay, think of it this way: like Hillary has to get him in debates, right? Because
guys, you want some Gary?
She has to get him in the debates. She has to have him there. Otherwise, Trump's just going to go crazy. If he don't, then he's completely just bought and paid for, because that's the thing. He said every crazy thing in the world up to this point.
No, he hasn't.
Put her up in front of her.
No, he
Put him up
hasn't.
in front of her. That's it. And if you give him an hour to say all that crazy stuff to her face, it don't have to be.
Some of which will be very true.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
He can say, but with her, all the crazy stuff's true.
Yeah.
And she's going to have nowhere to run. And his craziness is just going to consume her, and she's just going to cackle.
Oh man, she's going to lose it. She will snap.
She's going to have to have somebody. Snap. She's going to have her handler run out there on TV and tell her it's okay. On live TV, again.
She's going to twitch, and she's going to literally snap, and she's going to go for his eyes.
So that's why I'm saying, obviously, her consultants are aware of this, or they're complete idiots. And they have to get Gary Johnson on stage, or Trump's just completely bought off, and he'll be tame.
Do you think that Donald Trump has ever been in a fight in his life?
No, maybe
like a fist fight.
Maybe with some rich kid. Yeah, I could see it.
But maybe a pump. Both of them threw one punch, and that was it. I'm talking about a real, honest to God dog fight. No.
I bet them rich kids fight each other for sport.
Man,
I bet they have fight clubs.
No, but whatever. Not him. He has never been punched in the face ever.
Maybe not.
Probably slapped by a couple women, whatever. I mean,
Yeah, I bet you that's happened.
When you're the Donald,
I bet you that's happened a bunch.
Oh yeah.
But so what?
You pig.
What does that mean? What is the point? Fight or not fight? What does that mean?
That means that will he be able to withstand when Hillary Clinton goes to actually physically kill him? When she finally assumes her ultimate form.
See, that's why Gary's going to be up there.
Calm down, Hill. Calm down. It's okay.
You got to have him up there. Now, if he doesn't get in the debate, you can just forget.
Smoke one of these reefers.
You can forget any thought of him becoming anything. He's nothing. He's going to go disappear if he don't get in the debate. But I think they have to have him. And I think if he's put on a platform where the country sees, oh, wait, there's somebody else, literally will vote for anybody else. We don't care who it is, because look at those two lunatics.
And the establishment.
And he's going to look sane up there compared to them two.
If the establishment thinks that he's got a shot when he goes.
The establishment's already backing him. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you make it sound like this is American Idol. This is American Idol. What we're talking about right now is American Idol.
It's wrestling. It's WWE.
I hope that Gary Johnson can sing.
I don't know. I bet
he's going to have to sing pretty loudly over them too.
Woo. But it don't matter. As long as his face is up there and he's on, people are going to say, and if if you see the media go in his direction, I think they can pull him in that direction. Yeah. And the establishment get their guy in there. And he's the audible, because I said
because he really is. He is an establishment character.
That's
through
it.
Through.
That's what the point.
Libertarians, particularly your more liberty-minded libertarians, are not Gary Johnson fans at all, and I definitely get that. But at the same time, you're talking about a much smaller percentage of the voting population.
And look,
that are probably not going to vote anyway.
Because here's the thing. You're going to see, I'm not a big Gary Johnson guy. I'm not going to, I'm not a supporter at all. But the American people are going to see crazy, and kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Mitt Romney with pot.
Right. Oh, well, he's way better than those two. And if you see the media go that direction, that's what they want. That's the angle they're going for, I think. And that way, and then you could see a Gary Johnson presidency.
Yeah.
And it's all sorted itself out because the same people that ran the show under George Bush are running the show again. And they're going to give Gary Johnson his pot and make him happy.
Yeah, I mean, at some point,
that's my personal
thought. As bold and brazen as the establishment has been, there's going to have to be a little bit of give on their part to just completely quell any kind of just chaos and madness in the streets if either Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump get elected. Because it's going to get weird either way.
Oh, yeah, I think people will riot the minute.
It feels.
The minute
there's so much feels.
I think people will be in the
wrapped
street.
Up in the two of them.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think people will, react
to
whoever wins that. I don't think that's a good thing. I think people are going to see that. That's another one. I'm talking myself into voting for idiot Gary Johnson here. Not like it matters, but... No, but...
good luck with all that.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Y'all have fun with that.
What is it? No candy in the band?
There's no candy
in the band?
in Gary Johnson's band. None.
Yeah, I'm talking myself.
No Snickers bars.
That took 5 seconds.
No milk duds. None.
But yeah, I think it would be very Kagan-like. For those that you don't know, A Very Heavy Agenda is a great movie to check out that kind of details foreign policy and the Kagans and how they run it. Bill Kristol, for those who don't know, Project for a New American Century, which goes back to when we said forever we thought Rubio was going to win. Same people behind Rubio, even though there's some backing. The Kagans or Bob Kagan's openly backing Hillary right now. Openly. So maybe that, that goes to your theory that she's going to win.
Yeah. And again, we know that the elections are rigged. Bernie fans, hello. I'm speaking to you now. Come here. I'm going to give you a hug. It's going to be okay. We got Mitt Romney with pot. We got that evil woman that did that to Bernie. And then we have that one guy.
The lunatic.
Have you seen his hair lately?
The guy from WWE.
Whoever does his hair should be shot. And it's probably him.
I don't know.
His hair looks awful.
I haven't paid attention.
How can you not?
I haven't paid attention.
You have to adjust the tint on your TV just to make it look somewhat normal.
Seems like a pretty harsh sentence.
It's weird, dude.
Yeah. And poor Jill Stein. She's not my political cup of tea either. I'm just, like everybody, leave everybody alone. Stop telling me what to do. But I think she'd be great to have in the debate because she would make Hillary Clinton look like a fool.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, she would destroy her.
She's a smart cookie.
She is.
If I was going to have a female president, that's a good place to start.
Well, she's a little too. She's pretty similar to Bernie, and Bernie wasn't my thing either. So.
No, Bernie was definitely not.
So, but I think she's a really intelligent lady, and I think she would devour Hillary Clinton on the foreign policy stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think it would be really funny, being that she's a woman, and it would say, you say all this women's rights business, and I think she would go off on her about Saudi Arabia and women's rights records from all the money she takes through the Clinton Foundation and all that business that she directly takes. The connections that she has openly with these countries. And what are they saying now? What's Hillary's camp saying now? That, if we win, we won't take foreign donations anymore. It's like, she was Secretary of State, you morons. She was Secretary of State. Now you're going to do something about it? Too little, too late. Who's buying that?
Not me.
We're going to stop taking foreign donations. Give me a break. It's like, are you taking them right now? How about now?
Well,
She's running. They can start stacking it right now, couldn't they?
Give us a few weeks. Give us a few weeks. We're implementing a plan. We got to do something with these checks. We can't just send them back. That would be rude.
What a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
Like, they're not even pretending. They're not even pretending.
No, the idiots are the actual Hillary supporters. Those are, and again, those are just as bad and amazing.
Tom Cruise,
as Trump supporters.
Oh yeah. Well, there's not really any real Hillary supporters.
No, there's a few. I've actually.
I still don't believe it.
You want to talk about some trigger fields, and you want to talk about just as mean and nasty as Trump.
Not in real life.
Oh yeah, in real life.
Where?
They exist down there, close to where you live.
No, they don't.
Oh, they do.
I hadn't met one.
Oh, they do.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
There's none of them. They're not real.
Trigger field.
There may be a few, like, I don't know, people that work for the Democratic Party that want her to win. No, I didn't say go, well, she's better than Trump. I think there's lots of people that go, well, she's better than Trump. I think that person
In what
doesn't.
way?
I think there's lots of people that say that, but I don't think there's anybody that's like, I love Hillary Clinton and she should win. That's what I don't believe exists. It's not people that would go vote for her, because there are people that would vote for her because of Donald Trump. But I said real
Lesbians.
real supporters. Where are they?
I mean,
they don't exist.
A few of the supporters.
I don't believe that, because I don't believe anybody's falling for this women's rights business coming from her.
No, you'd be surprised.
How? Who's buying that story?
Your social media apparently is an echo chamber. That's all I'm going to tell you.
But you've got Jill Stein.
I do.
People pay attention. Look, people pay attention to her. Not, well, what am I saying? That's, the gorilla was tied with her in, I think, the presidential poll.
Harambe, never forget.
Yeah, I don't believe polls.
It all comes back to Harambe.
I was going to do a poll for anti-media, but not actually poll anybody, because I don't believe CNN's polling anybody.
I was the one that was supposed to say,
but it was just going to be
times, and you've said poll like 15 times within the past 12 seconds. That's awesome.
Fair enough.
I felt like I did that with my mind.
Good job. But it was pretty much just going to be a joke, so we're going to get screwed anyway. 100%.
Let's take a poll right now.
So funny.
About how funny this nonsense about polls is.
Yeah, okay. Speaking of Bill Clinton, though.
Do we have to?
That was terrible.
God, that guy's awful.
That was really bad. So anyway, let's
take a poll about that joke you just told about Bill Clinton.
Anyway. Well, we could harp back on all the negative things going on in the world. Because unfortunately, that's when you start breaking down what's happening in the world, the real news, it's hard to escape it.
Yeah.
Situations we're in. The Snowden explains the NSA hack. Did you go through that?
Briefly.
A lot of that, I have to admit. It's a lot of it goes over my head. I'll be honest. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm not a computer guy.
The Snowden movie, you excited about that?
No, I don't care. I probably won't see it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to give it man, look, I even watched Zero Dark 30. I sat through that whole entire turd to get to the end.
I don't care. I don't trust it. I'm sure it's fine.
I like G. Gordon Levitt. He's cool. Did you ever see Hesher? That's a good movie.
No.
I've loaned you. I think I got a copy.
Speaking of movies, you hear Mike Judge say how scared he is that the Idiocracy.
Oh, that's an awesome story.
Become reality.
Yeah.
It's become a documentary.
It has. I mean, when, the only thing that first off, in the movie, I think, what is it, like $1 billion has a much smaller monetary value than $1 billion does now. Well, $1 billion these days has a much smaller monetary value than it used to. And the government's going to get their piece of it. I absolutely love Idiocracy. It's one of the most incredible movies that Mike Judge did, period. And he did some pretty good ones. Office Space, come on, man. Office Space is a classic. Flair.
We're unfortunately living idiocracy.
President Camacho.
President.
He reminds me of somebody. Who is it that he reminds me of? Comes out, there's a bunch of loud music, screaming and yelling a bunch of stuff.
I bet Trump would take a gun up there and start firing if they let him. Just to do it.
Hands down.
Bet he would.
There is
Just
actually
to show out.
I think somebody did like a mashup, and you can check it out. I think it's on YouTube or something of the President Camacho and Donald Trump speeches, how closely they are related. Something on social media I saw, and I just, I'm sorry, it's the truth. It's what plants crave.
We're living it.
Electrolytes.
That's society. I think the internet, as much as it's helped us and we've been able to... Do you think the internet's been more detrimental to society and dumbed us down, or do you think it's helped us to connect? It's both. To connect in a way that we never have. And I think reasons that we're able to understand and know more than we used to are because of social media.
I didn't know that people loved cats as much as they did until Facebook.
Didn't either.
Yeah.
Cats are a big deal.
Cats are a deal.
I knew babies were a big deal, but I didn't realize cats were such a big deal.
Well, I mean, yeah, babies have always been a big deal, because it's a baby. They just do baby stuff.
That gorilla from Cincinnati is a big deal.
Harambe, never forget.
9/11 Bush memes are a big deal.
The Cincinnati Zoo's internet presence completely down, just gone. We're no longer online. We don't exist on social media anymore. We're gone. Screw you guys. I'm going home. Jimmy's. They shut their social media presence down.
Oh, well.
Just like they shut Harambe down.
Trigger warning. Trigger warning.
Trigger feels. Triggers with attitudes.
That was uncalled for.
Trigger, please.
That was uncalled for. Unnecessary.
Did you throw a flag?
I did. I did. I threw a flag on the play.
15-yard penalty for that one.
Yeah. So, anyways, we've got just a few minutes here.
Thankfully.
Yeah. Again, we could sit here and talk about all the negative stuff all night. If you really want to.
We already did.
Yeah.
The show's almost over. Can we end on a positive note?
I don't know. I got other stories we could talk about. Did you hear about them threatening Russia and Syria?
No, it was you.
Lieutenant General Stephen Townsend was threatening them.
No, we were supposed to end on a positive note.
Oh, yeah.
Happy news. That's not happy news.
It's not happy news at all. It's real news. It's what's really happening in the world.
Randy Orton, never forget.
Yeah, how about that? We got a couple minutes. Who cares? Minutes ago. I'll talk about it.
it up. Brock Lesnar.
Was it Blade or was it not? Was it a cut or was it the elbow?
Randy Orton, never forget.
Yeah. Well,
this has been a great show.
Hadn't it been fantastic?
I think so.
I think it's been brilliant.
I think have we gotten to the point where we can win an award for the show?
I don't know.
Can we get nominated for an award?
I don't know.
I really want to.
I don't think that award exists.
I want to say that we have an award-winning show. I don't know.
We can create one. I tell you what, we'll do that on Thursday.
I'ma let them know through the stereo. Yo, here we go through the stereo.